Welcome to the New Author Podcast, a weekly podcast diary starring Jerry Evanoff and Rich Kacy. Join them weekly as they talk about writing, publishing, and marketing their books. And now, here are your hosts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Author Podcast. I am one of the hosts of this podcast, Jerry Evanoff. Today is Monday, August 4th, 2025. It's episode number 321, 321, contact, nice. Again, I'm Jerry Evanoff, and with me, as he is each week, and actually with me early today, throwing me off a little bit, is Rich Kacy. Rich, how are you?
I'm doing really well because I don't know if you remember, but a couple of months ago, I said how I was going to take the summer off from writing, and I never did. I was off for like 1 week, and then I got right back to writing for whatever reason. Well, I think I can say that late July and early August are going to be my days to take the summer off from writing because it's been 2 weeks now. I haven't written a word.
Nice.
I've read a lot of words. In fact, right now I've got 5 books going at the same time. But yeah, it's just every time I go to sit down and write, or I have the time to write, I just say, that's too much work. I'm going to pick up a book and read.
But I'll bet you a lot of people who are writing, who've been writing for a long time, they're in the middle of something, who say, I'm just going to take some time off. I'll bet you within a few days that gets coming back.
Yeah, I might.
I feel like it does.
Yeah. Although it has been 2 weeks. So we'll see. What happens going forward.
All right, well, let me jump into my stats from last week, because I did actually did a little bit of writing. I didn't do as much as I said I would. It's a new month. Yay, that means I get to explain myself to you people. So it's a new month, so let me jump right into my recap of this series. I did publish book 1 in May of 2023. Sat down and started writing book 2 and realized I did not want to write book 2, publish it, write book 3, publish it, write book 4, publish it. I wanted to create a story. I almost wanted to create like a one big novel that I separated into 9 sections.
I think I said you need to start calling it an epic saga.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. And so what I did was I decided to write first drafts for everything, get the entire series, first 9 books of the series, get it all done, plotted, get the first drafts written. And up until this point right now where we stand, I've written the first drafts of books 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm about, 20% of the way through book 9 right now, maybe 15% of the way through book 9's first draft. I've also written 2 short stories and 2 novellas in this series, so 13 total books in this series. And as soon as I finish up book 9, I still have book 4.5 to write. That's one of the ones I said, I think I just said a few seconds ago that I've written. I actually haven't written it. 4.5 is a short story. I haven't written that one yet. But as soon as I write book 9, I'm going to go back and start editing book 1, which has already been published. I'm going to make a couple little changes to it, then re-upload it. I'm going to edit my 1.5. I got a couple changes to make there, and I'm going to re-upload that. It's in the back. It's a link in the back of book 1. Then I'll go back and start editing from book 2 on, and I'll start publishing after that. So I've written a whole bunch of words. I've probably written 320,000 words in the last year and a half.
I think easy. Yeah.
Last year's goal was 240. I made it just to like 205. And this year's goal is 145. And I'm at 114 right now. So I'm at, 220. No, 320. Right? Is that right? 114. Yeah. I'm at like 320,000 words in the last year and a half, plus 19 months. So,
right.
And it's all in this series. So that's where I'm at right now with this series. The plan is to publish the first one either at the end of the year or the beginning of the year next year, and then just start moving through them from there. Last week, my goal was 7,500 words, and I did fail at it. But I did fail at it for reasons that are kind of interesting, Rich. I'm going to give you some different stats.
Okay.
Before I go back to the book, I'm going to give you some different stats here. In the last, not counting today, in the last 3 days, I've golfed 54 holes.
Wow.
I have 2 birdies. I have 19 pars and 31 bogeys. My scores for the three rounds were 81, 86, and 85. So
you almost broke 80.
Sitting in the 80s now.
Almost broke 80 though.
No, I did. Oh yeah, that 80. Yeah. Well, the courses closest to me, the ones around me, are actually shorter and easier.
Oh, okay.
So although I did break 80 at the hard one that I played on the weekend, so yeah, I almost broke 80. And then you look back and go, boy, if I had done this or I had done this, I could have got there. But it's okay. I'm not going to complain about anything. So that's why I missed my goal of 7,500 words. I did end up with 6,090 words, so I got close. Yeah. I do have some good reasons, a couple of kind of dizzying reasons, and I use that word on purpose, of why I didn't hit the goal. One of them is golf related. But so now the book 9 is currently sitting at 8,285 words, and I did that quickly, so I think that's correct. But that sounds about right. For the year, I'm at 114,843 on the way to that 145,000 word goal, which I should hit once I finish 9. The only thing that I'm not going to do yet, I'm not sure if I'm going to write book 4.5 now or wait until I get a little bit out. It would probably just take me a couple of weeks to write because it's only going to be about 7 or 8 chapters. But so we'll see on that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And then finally, my words per hour jumped up 2 words to 1,287 words per hour. So those are my stats from last week.
You know what the amazing thing is about you and what you've been doing is the fact that you had a long range plan and you stuck with it, and it's going to take you well, by the time you're all done, it'll take you 2 or 3 years to get out all the words that you've written, and yeah, you just stuck with it. I'm not sure many people could do that.
There have been times when I've wanted to go back to book 2 and just start editing and publishing, but I think the thing that's keeping me going, I don't know how you are. I think you're very similar to me, actually, in this case. I think there are other people who are different. I don't care about selling books right now. I don't care about how much money they're going to cost, how much I'm going to make off of them. I don't care about the market. I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. And if I put this series out there and it bombs, I also don't care. It'll be disappointing, but I don't care. I don't need it to make a living. I make a good living doing what I do. So right now, all I'm doing is having a blast writing. So.
Right. And that reminds me of something that Sean Platt said. I'll talk about them a little bit later, but he said, all I want to do is make cool shit and talk about it.
Yeah.
So he's got a company now. He employs like 40 people in his company, and he's got somebody else to do the marketing and the publishing and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
In terms of my stats, again, reiterate the fact that I wrote exactly 0 words. I will partly blame my job because I worked 7 days in a row. And some of them were pretty tough days. We had some challenging patrons and stuff. And by the time I got home, I just didn't want to do anything. And wanted to eat and sit around and just either play with YouTube or work on a puzzle or something like that. So I just did literally nothing in terms of words. So although I am, to go with the first of the month, tell everybody what you're doing, I am in the Cozy Mystery number 2 of a series I'm working on. It's stuck in neutral right now at 27,298 words. And my total words for the year is 154,554 of a 200,000 word goal. I'm still well within the margin of error to be able to accomplish that by the time December rolls around. And so we're just taking a little hiatus at the moment.
Yeah. So in terms of my recap, so I did talk about the 3 rounds of golf I played Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I didn't talk about the 4th round of golf I played since the last time we talked, which was my league Tuesday night. So I went to work on Tuesday in the office. I did work on chapter 2. I wrote 1,084 words in about 45 minutes. I am back fully in Scrivener now, which I do like, mostly because of how easy it is to move around between chapters. And, I'll talk about it in a little while, but I did start playing around with the story Bible today that was sent to me by editsbytony.com. She's great. She did a fantastic job, and I'm looking forward to getting through it some more. But I did start working through that and adding more entries in Scrivener in different, there's a character section and a location section. And I'm building my story Bible in there based on what she sent me. And it's just so easy to get around there in Scrivener. I wish Scrivener did have an AI component. They don't really make changes to their program very often. So it's probably never going to happen, but it would be interesting. But I do overall just like Scrivener so much better than everything else. And I believe me, I've tried a lot of them in the last couple of years.
And I think if at this point, if at least right now, today, if Scrivener added an AI component to their program, their hardcore users would absolutely lose their shit because they are so anti-AI.
Yeah, is that a thing? Is like a Scrivener thing?
Well,
I guess that makes sense because if you're more AI, you're not using like a Windows-based software or a Mac-based software, would be my guess.
That could be, but also just the fact that Scrivener has been around so long. The only thing that people use that's been around longer is Microsoft Word, probably.
Yeah.
And a lot of the old hardcore authors, they are just right at the moment anyway, is really against AI.
I love AI. I use it every day for stuff.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
I don't use it quite that often, but I do use it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then that in the evening, I did golf in my golf league. This was our 5th to final week. We have 4 left now. I was playing very well. I was hitting the ball very well on that day. I was +4 through 8 holes. And then I was +4 on the 18th hole.
Wow.
So I ended up +8 overall, 44, which is my lowest score of the year. It makes me very happy. Even blowing up on the last hole and getting an 8, I still had a 44. So I was playing really well. It was very nice. Wednesday, I worked from home. I have nothing writing related. In the evening, I did start my next football game, a 1958 replay of the Browns and Steelers, which was a lot of fun. In real life, the Browns won that game 45-13, so it was a big win for them. In my game, it was a little closer, but Jim Brown had about 250 yards rushing, which was great because I love that guy. And so that was Wednesday. Thursday, I did not go into the office on Thursday. I woke up dizzy, which isn't something that happens very often. In fact, the only time it's ever happened to me is when I took that Flonase like 6-8 months ago.
Uh-huh.
I came downstairs for a couple of days dizzy, then I stopped taking the Flonase and I wasn't dizzy anymore. This time I didn't take anything. I don't know what happened here. It's the weirdest thing. I think it's, our weather went from, 90 to 95, heavy humidity to 60 with no humidity in about 8 hours on Thursday. And it started in the morning. And maybe that's what caused, I have the worst sinuses in the world. So I don't know. That's the only thing that I can come up with.
So when you say dizzy, you mean you just felt lightheaded, or was the room actually moving on you?
No, the room wasn't spinning, but I also couldn't walk straight.
Okay.
Like coming down the stairs was a chore.
Yeah.
And once I got down the stairs, when I'm sitting, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I worked all day. It was easy. So I just submitted a work from home, and I worked from home. But I didn't shower until around 11 because I didn't feel comfortable getting in a shower, standing there. The last thing I want to do is fall and break a hip.
Right.
So I didn't want to do that. So it was weird. And it was probably around noon 30 when I started to go from dizzy to lightheaded.
Uh-huh.
That's where I got to be a little bit better. And then by the end of the day, by the evening, I felt fine.
Right.
And so it was just, I did not want to go to work. I didn't do any writing on Thursday at lunch just because I didn't want to do any. Still feeling a little bit lightheaded. So I don't know what the issue was. It's over. As far as I know, I'm fine. I've been fine for a few days now. But it was just that weird waking up Thursday. You roll over and go, whoa, and your head feels a lot heavier than the rest of your body. And again, if I close my eyes, things would spin. Okay. But it was just weird.
I was listening to you talk about it in the symptoms and stuff, and especially when you say if you close your eyes and things are spinning on you, you've got the same problem I had in the past, which was the little crystals in your inner ear are moving around and blocking the fluid the way it's supposed to flow. Yeah,
and that makes sense to me because
classic vertigo, and it happens a lot to people as they get older. Not that we're getting older, of course, but
No. I feel 25 years old.
That's the biggest problem. You feel 25 in your brain.
Right, exactly. So I didn't really do anything the rest of the day. Football was on that night though, which is always nice. It was funny. I had the Detroit Chargers game, your Detroit Lions versus the LA Chargers, on my little TV and muted, and I was watching the NFL Throwback channel, which was just showing all these fun videos. I love that YouTube channel, NFL Throwback. If you're a football fan like I am, go watch NFL Throwback on YouTube. It's such a great channel with all the stuff that they put up. So Friday, I woke up to work from home. I'm working a half a day. Felt less dizzy when I woke up. I actually felt more lightheaded in the morning. I was able to shower like normal. It was a little bit, iffy, but I did, and I was okay. And it's so funny. I had texted my buddy earlier in the week, hey, you want to golf Friday? But then I deleted the text before I sent it because I want to get worked. I want to write. That's what I want to do. So I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and I got I got a sandwich, some fries, and I started writing. I'm 532 words in when my buddy texts me, hey, you want to golf?
Absolutely.
And I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's pretty much what I was like, yes, I do. And I just said, can I get my check, please? I'm leaving. And the weather was beautiful. It was perfect. 80 degrees and sunny, no humidity.
Ooh, that's nice.
And I went, again, 532 words on that day because of this. And again, I wanted to also test out how I was feeling because I was golfing Saturday, Sunday too. The first swing that I took, it was a little bit like, whoa, okay. But after that, I was fine.
Okay.
That was where I shot my 81. It's a course it's 8 minutes from my house. It's an easy course. It's short. And if you're hitting the ball straight, you're doing well. And the cool thing about it is, in the past, I'd still shoot 90 to 95 there. But because I'm swinging the club so well right now, I shot 81, which was really nice.
I bet that felt really good.
It's you know what it is? It's weird. It's like I've been trying to get to this level for like the last 5 years since I started taking lessons in 2020. And after a while, you think, am I at the peak right now? Am I ever going to get better? Is 91 going to be what I'm going for here every week with the occasional 83 or the occasional 85, 87, 80, whatever. And now, like, I'm hitting the ball long way straight. I'm still pulling to the left sometimes, but my slice is gone. It's like, I understand the whole practice pays off type of thing, where I've been doing it for 5 years practicing, and finally I'm starting to hit more consistent. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
And I've never been an athlete before. I didn't know what any of this stuff was. I didn't play any sports in high school. I didn't realize that you got to, I thought take a lesson 3 weeks later, you're killing the ball. No, 5 years later. So, yeah. So,
doesn't quite work that way.
No. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. I learned that. Yeah. Didn't get home until around 6, and I don't really do, because it was 6, it was late. I knew I was getting up early the next day. I did not do much of anything the rest of the night, which is going to become a pattern. Saturday I was up early to golf again. Now, we did not go to one of those, our home course. They were closed. We went to this really, a course I've been to a couple times over the last few years, but it was in terrible condition this year. It looked like somebody had a backyard, and they were like, well, in the middle part, let's just move the thing lower, cut it lower. And on the outsides, we'll just leave it higher, and we'll call this the fairway and call that the rough. It was so bad that the fairways were just backyards that were called. It was so bad. I really felt like I was golfing poorly. And then by the time I added my score up, I had an 86. Like, I beat everybody by a ton. Like, it was just so weird that I, even when I feel like I'm not golfing well, I still come out with a score in the 80s. So it's nice. And I believe that was my 9th straight round in the 80s.
Wow.
Going back a few weeks. So yeah, it's hard for me to, and this is like, I know people out there don't care. This is like, it's hard for me to believe, and I'm so enjoying it, but it's so weird that I'm not shooting in the 90s anymore. I'm shooting the 80s. I'm 6 or 7 strokes back.
This is just getting you used to the feeling, because when you start publishing those books and they become bestsellers, you'll have the same kind of feeling.
I would feel the same way. I would absolutely be like, I didn't think this could happen.
Right.
But yeah, so got home a little bit. Our tea time was at 7:30 instead of 6:40 like normal. It was a long round, so I didn't get home until probably 2:30. And I immediately turned and went to Hothead, because if I'd have waited any longer, I wouldn't have gone. And I sat for a while I was there. I did not want to write very long, but I kind of pushed myself to sit for a while. I added 1,369 words to chapter 4. Then went back to chapter 2, added 52 words to that. Then I went to chapter 5 and started at 827 words to that. So for the day, 2,363 in a little over an hour and a half. And I was trying to really make up for my lack of words the previous 2 days. Didn't do much after I got home. Made some dinner. Took a look at some fantasy football player rankings, because Vegas is coming in basically 4 weeks. I think 3.5, 4 weeks, something like that. I'll be going to Vegas for my big money leagues. And then I kind of settled in and didn't do much of anything until I went to bed around 10. Sunday, up to golf for the 3rd day in a row. I love these weekends, where I get, and it only happens a couple times based on my schedule, other people's schedules. But if I can get one of those weekends where I golf Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a good one. And the weather has to cooperate and everything. Right. I went to my normal course. We got there at 6:40. Again, didn't feel like I played that well, especially on the front 9, but I added it up, and I went, 44, 41 for an 85, which is awesome. 10 straight rounds in the 80s now.
Nice.
And it's so funny, because I look back at like 2 bad shots and 2 3-putts where I'm like, I could have had a 79. But no. Celebrate the 85.
That's right.
Stop whining,
That's right.
Yeah. Came home, back to Buffalo Wild Wings, which I think I said last week I didn't want to go there twice a week. And I'm saying it again this week, because I can't get enough of this damn salad that I talked about last week. So it's a buffalo chicken salad, but they give you like these big buffalo chicken strips that you cut up yourself, and the whole thing is so good. I put ranch on it, I put fries on it. It's just so good. So
but it's basically just buffalo chicken and lettuce, right? Because you haven't taken everything else off.
Well, it's funny. The one time I walked in there and she was like, buffalo chicken salad. And I went, yeah, but I'm going to be really picky. She goes, hang on, let me go get my notepad. So, yeah. Yeah. So then, let's see. After the salad, I went back to chapter 5. I had 2 scenes left in chapter 5, wrote both of those, added up to 2,041 words in about 100 minutes. And this is, again, one of those chapters. It's got like 2,900 words or something in it. It's going to be one of those chapters that's broken up into multiple chapters or multiple scenes once I start formatting. And I'll have a few of those throughout this book. Came home, went to the grocery store. I hate going to the grocery store. I started looking at Instacart, because I used it during COVID. With the only place that would deliver to me was Aldi, which had most of what I like, but not everything. But now I looked and it's like Giant Eagle will deliver, my local one will deliver, and I'm like, cool. So I don't want to go to the grocery store. So I open up the Giant Eagle one. And after 3 items were added to my cart, I realized the only thing I wanted to do less than go to the grocery store was browse food on a website for an hour.
Exactly. exactly.
So I just drove to the store. I was there for 20 minutes and I came home and I was done. So,
right. I really enjoy going to the grocery store because I like to wander around and see what's new. So
I mean, I live in such a small town that like I'm gonna bump into somebody I know and have horribly awkward conversations. I don't want to have that. So there's a family that when I growing up, they lived on my street. The boy, he's about 8 months older than me, and then his mom was, she was Gwen, but I called her Aunt Gwen. She's from like Mississippi. She's got a deep accent, and but he doesn't. And we were like really good friends growing up, and then once I moved out and he moved out, we barely talk. But I'll see him every now and then, and we'll have to have weird, awkward conversations. Well, if I go to the grocery store on Sunday morning after Panera, like in the winter, he's there about that time. If I wait until the afternoon, his mom's there.
Okay.
It's just like,
you have to pick
and
your
they're
poison.
Nice people. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to have the awkward conversation.
Right.
And then about 3 weeks ago, I ran into the other woman who was the mom on our street of the house right next door to us and talked to her for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I want to be an introvert. So so I went to the grocery store, came back here. Grass needed cut so bad, and I hate cutting the grass. So I played my football game for about an hour, and then around 6:15, it was like, okay, I'll do it. So I cut my grass, and it takes me like 20 minutes. I don't know why I complain, but ate some dinner, went and got Max at my mom and dad's. Then around 6:45, I finally sat down. And I always sat down at Buffalo Wild Wings when I was there, but it felt like I'd been standing all day, and it was probably from the entire weekend.
Right.
Golfing and walking and all this stuff. I mean, I probably got thousands of steps throughout the days from all the walking. And so then, I sat down and kind of sat there until I went to bed around 10:30 or so. I think it was about 10 again. I think 10 o'clock's pretty much become my bedtime. And then today, got up to work from home. Nothing really exciting today. I did not write at lunch today. Actually, what I did do, I wanted to take a look at the story Bible that she sent me. And I remember saying this on the podcast about a month ago where I said, oh yeah, I got to figure out how to organize it. And you said, just ask ChatGPT to do it. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So what I did first was I imported it into Notebook LM because I've gotten really good results using the Notebook LM to ask questions and organize for me. And it did not do a very good job. Like it wasn't giving it to me in the format that I was looking for. Yeah. And I don't think I tried, I'm much better at prompting ChatGPT because I'm so used to it. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe I just wasn't very good at prompting it. So I ended up copying it in ChatGPT, telling exactly what I wanted it, and I just did one character at a time. Spit it out. I created a new folder inside the characters folder in Scrivener, one for each of character. And I got it to give me a nice format that I can use going forward. Like there were a couple things in there for some of the characters. Danny drives a blue car because her daughter has the color version of the synesthesia, and blue is not a painful color for her. She does not associate that with pain, so she drives a blue car. And I forgot all about that. And I have Danny's car showing up in later books. I have no idea how I described it in later books, but I bet you it wasn't blue. So I'm very happy that I did this. Like it's $400, a lot of money. Totally worth it to make sure that I'm going to be consistent as I go throughout this. So I still got to do all the side characters and some of the other characters that show up later in the books. But those, Sam was the biggest one because he has the most details. Some of the side characters, I'll just paste it in there. And I kind of created a template for ChatGPT that said, give me the character's name bolded at the top, and then give me, and I told it, you decide. I said, I want description. I want what role they played in the book. And I want, something else. I forget what it is. Backstory if it's available. And then I go, I want bullet points of everything else. You decide the categories. And then I said, and don't make anything up. Only use what's in the text. And I pasted it, Sam's section from my story Bible in there. I hit go, and it gave it to me. And I said, okay, I don't want bullets here, but I do want them here. Make sure you boldface this stuff. Like I worked with the template. And once I had the template, all I did was paste it in and say, okay, this is Danny. Do the exact same thing with the same template. Give it to me. And then I did, Carly and Linus and them. And it was pretty easy after that. So I have that template built, which is nice. It'll be pretty easy to go through the rest of them once I sit down to do it. Maybe tonight while I'm sitting on the couch. We'll see.
Yeah, nice.
So I did that at lunch and then worked the rest of the day. I logged off right at 4 and haven't really done much of anything since then. I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone. I went and got Max. I did my dishes. Nothing exciting. So yeah, that was my week. Pretty good week overall. Even though I didn't hit my goal of 7,500, I still hit 6,000 words. And anytime I get that many words in a week, I'm very happy. So, yeah.
Well, my week was 6 or 7 days that I'll never get back. Where I didn't do anything productive, as I've said. Worked at the library Tuesday through Sunday yesterday, and the only thing of note that happened is that I'm on Johnny Truant's email list because I subscribed to his Kickstarter for his artisan author book that's coming out soon, in his course or class that he's going to be teaching. He doesn't want to call it a course; he wants to call it a class. So, anyways, he mentioned on an email that they were going to do a Johnny, Sean, and Dave. We're going to do a one-time reunion podcast.
Wow!
And they dropped that on Friday, and I tell you what, it is just classic. You know, Dave looks like he is a homeless guy on the corner and is grumbling about everything. Sean's a motor mouth talking a mile a minute, and Johnny's just, cracking dick jokes there and stuff, But it was, just like the old time. And they, right at the beginning, they said, this is going to be a one-time thing. We just, thought we'd get the gang together, see what everybody was doing. And by the end of the show, which was about an hour and 20 minutes long, they were going to be doing a new podcast coming out sometime soon. Yeah. and Sean started off the podcast saying that he just doesn't have time to do podcasts. He talked about the company Sterling and Stone, and the fact that it's now got 40 employees, and he's kind of stepped away from being doing anything organizational with it. Apparently between the writers' strike and some other things that happened, they nearly went under, but they've clawed their way back over the last year, and they've got like 40 employees, including, I guess, the creatives that actually write, and they use their stories to develop IP, most of which it sounds like most of which they try to peddle to Hollywood or to TV or whatever.
What's the podcast called? You remember?
I'm not even sure it had a name. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll look up the link for you so you can put it in the show notes. I'll have to go to YouTube.
Yeah, I'll do that too, but I just wanted to listen to it myself.
Oh yeah, right.
I was just being selfish, but I'll put it in the show notes too.
I'm not sure what they dropped it under. Johnny dropped it under his One Drink Book Club.
Oh really?
At least that's the way I listened to it. But I think he said it was on YouTube. He dropped it on YouTube as well. So it may be back under the old Sterling and Stone or something. But anyways, Sean was saying about the podcast, they just didn't have time. Then we find out by the end of their little show that he's actually got two podcasts that are in the hopper in production right now. And he'll do a third one. So why not?
Yeah, I just searched One Drink Book Club. It does exist.
Okay.
And the self-publishing podcast reunion episode is the last one that's downloading right now. So
okay.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty funny. So anyways, I mean, and I guess apparently from what they said in the show, Johnny is the one that kind of killed the last one because they felt like that they couldn't talk a lot about what they were doing with the company, and they just didn't have any self-publishing advice to give people because that was their whole reason. But this new one, they're going to just come back and they're just going to bullshit.
Yeah. Isn't that pretty much what Brandon Sanderson's doing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's, they're going to talk about, their week a lot like what we were doing, except they're probably not going to be as, explicit on a day-to-day basis. And they'll probably do a lot more than I've done. So, except for Dave. Dave probably won't have done anything at all. So. But yeah, it was fun to listen to them. And if you haven't, anybody's listening, if you haven't heard of them before, you really should check out the link that Jerry's going to drop in the show notes because they are hilarious as hell.
Yeah, self-publishing podcast. That's the very first podcast I started listening to in 2016 when I started thinking about writing.
Right. And I went back and I was going to listen to some of them again, and they pulled them all. None of them are available anymore.
Oh.
So
okay.
Yeah, that was disappointing. But yeah, so that was my week. Today, I did have the day off today, but I spent it up until about 2:00. Yeah, I spent it outside, came in and had a quick lunch, and then laid down on the living room floor and woke up about 5 minutes before I called you. So I really enjoyed
down on the floor?
Oh yeah, I love sleeping on the floor. I do that most of the time.
On your back?
Something to do with my back. Yeah, mostly on my back. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I can fall asleep like that.
Yeah,
it definitely lay like that.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it gives gravity a chance to straighten out all my vertebrae, I guess, or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I've got nothing new on my running list of future things to do, except for that trip that I was going to take to see my mom at the end of August, beginning of September. That's now pushed to the end of September, beginning of October.
Yeah, you actually said that would be pushed last week by your
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. So that's that'll be nicer then anyways. I'll probably get to see some leaves.
Yeah. There you go. I don't have anything either. In fact, I deleted a couple of things. I deleted the pricing structure, the editing structure that I put in here. I did put that into Scrivener yesterday, so that's saved now somewhere else. It's not in here anymore. I also deleted the pricing structure at the end of this podcast outline for the same reason. I finally got that. That's the thing about Scrivener. Again, I can't say anything bad about it other than the formatting issue. Whenever you start typing and it just wants to change fonts on you, that's kind of annoying. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, it's perfect for organizing all this stuff. Which is, maybe if I was writing one book, I could use audio, a Novel Crafter, or even what's the one, Atticus, something like that. But for organizing all these books together, like I'm trying to, and it's Scrivener is the way to go for me. So yeah. I can talk about it all day. So yeah, I have nothing else new there. Although I'm thinking more about the drawings for each book, and I'm starting to wonder if I wrote that down, do drawings for each book in the running list of things like a year ago when I got the idea to do it. And I'm wondering and I tried it with ChatGPT briefly, and it was just not giving me what I wanted. It just wasn't giving me good pictures. It didn't know how to make the maps. It didn't understand where everything was located. And I was looking for a hand-drawn version of it, and it wasn't doing that. But I wonder a year later where we're at with the image creation with either ChatGPT or some of these other ones. Did you see that Notebook LM has a new feature out that came out in the last couple of days? Instead of doing the audio podcasts, it'll create a video presentation with audio for you based on...
Oh, no.
I haven't used it yet, and the video is more like almost like a slideshow. It's not, it's not going to be like a couple of actors acting.
Okay.
But it's something new. So I'm wondering where the image I don't know if they even do image creation on there, but I'm going to look around at some of the other places for the image creation and see if I can get some of these maps done. Because when I re-upload book 1, probably sometime in the fall, I'm going to want to have the map in there also for what the inside of the manufacturing plant looked like.
Right.
Again, just a sketch drawn, basically.
Right.
I might have just to find somebody who can draw and explain to them. I might actually have to do that. I'll pay somebody to do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
In terms of my addicted to, I got one for you here. I was talking. I don't know if we were recording yet when I said this, but I got one for you that you're going to say, wait, you haven't heard of that? Every single other person on the planet has heard of that, including that tribe that lives on that island that if you try to go there, they kill you. I forget what that island is called. But so I was on YouTube this is probably 3 or 4 days ago, just scrolling around, and a channel that you may have heard of called BBC Earth came up with David Attenborough.
Right.
And I've never heard. I mean, I've heard David Attenborough's name. I didn't know. I knew he had to do with nature, but I had no idea what it was. So I started watching this BBC Earth. It was like a ocean version of all the things that happen in the ocean, and it was amazing. I think they add sound effects to it. I'm not sure if I think they do, but I've watched it so much in the last 4 days, just as in the evenings when I need half an hour to kill on TV while I'm looking at Instagram or something, and I'll look up and I go, this is amazing. So I'll just sit and watch it. I was watching bears scratch their backs against trees yesterday, and just. It's awesome. So look, if you've never heard of BBC Earth, there might be one person out there who never has. Look it up because it's a lot of fun.
And there's a lot of different kinds of channels like that. A lot of them out of the UK, but there's a fair number come out of America too. And when we pull up our Fire Stick TV in order to watch something, the very first it gives you a thing of stuff to watch or stuff you have watched you may like. It's something like Ocelots, and it's all these nature programs because that's what my wife watches while I'm not here on Tuesday evening. So
nice. They're coming up for me now on YouTube. It's recommended.
Yeah.
For the same reason, because I've been watching that so much.
And kind of as a side note to what you just said, David Attenborough, I believe, has licensed his voice for AI. Yeah, to do AI reproductions because
probably smart.
He's in his mid 90s, I believe.
Yeah, he's late 90s, I think. Yeah.
Maybe late 90s. So yeah, so we'll have David Attenborough forever on these nature shows. Which will be kind of cool because I like his voice. He's got a good voice.
A great voice for narrating those kind of documents.
Right.
Or documents, videos, I mean. Yeah, let's see how old he is. He is 99.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my addicted to is still the cherries. Bought another 10 pounds earlier in the week, and we've eaten it already. So it's...
Wow. Just like grapes. Is that how you're eating them?
Yeah, essentially, I have like 30 or 40 of them after dinner for dessert.
Wow.
So,
Holy cow.
yeah,
So many.
yeah, but
All right.
they're so good this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's gonna be a short podcast here. Is I'm just writing and not doing nothing else, and you're not even writing. So we got a lot to talk about here. So we're gonna go short here. I'm gonna get into my schedule for next week already, and we're probably gonna be about 40 minutes here. Tomorrow I'm in the office, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to write at lunch. I'll try to get 1,000 words tomorrow at lunch. This stuff we only have after counting tomorrow. We only have 4 weeks left. After tomorrow, we'll have 3 weeks left. August 26th is our last golf league, and then I'll have those Tuesday evenings back. Which, I don't know what I'm going to do yet once golf is over. I'm pretty sure my in-office days are going to change from Tuesday, Thursday to Wednesday, Thursday, which means Monday night might be open for me to go right in the evenings like I used to on Tuesdays to Hothead and get some words down. I enjoy that, even though I don't write at night anymore. I think I could if I was out somewhere and doing it. So we just have 3 weeks left in the golf league after tomorrow for the year. Wednesday, I'll be working from home. I don't know if I'll do any writing or not. I didn't do any today, so I'd like to try to do something on Wednesday. And then in the evening, I'm sure I'll play some kind of a game. I got a golf game sitting right here in front of me that I wish I could change cameras so the YouTube people could see it set up, but I don't know if I change cameras. I don't know what happened to this thing. Thursday, back in the office, I'll write at lunch. I'll try to get 1,000 words. Friday, unfortunately, on this day, coworker Brian needed to have the day off, and him or I, one of us has to always be logged in during the day. So, and I told him I'm taking all the Fridays off the rest of the year. So you tell me when you want one, and I'll do something else. Like it wouldn't be fair for me to just take them all. So,
right.
He told me he's going on a vacation Thursday. He'll be out Thursday, Friday this week. So I do have to work a full day. I have to work a 40-hour work week, Rich. What is going on in the world? I know it's awful. The Browns' first preseason game is Friday night, so that'll be good. And then Saturday, I have a 7:04 tee time Saturday. As the guy who opens the place on Saturdays doesn't like to come before 7 o'clock. So if you look at the book where you write tee times, he's blocked out everything before 7 o'clock, a big X through it. And then the next day I can go at 6:40. It's the weirdest thing. But I have 7:40. I'll come home. I'll do some writing. And then I'll probably be home to play some games after that. And then 6:40 on Sunday, tee time. Probably just actually right now it's just me. And I don't really like going up there and playing by myself. I feel like I play quick and poorly, but the way I'm swinging the club right now, I may want to go up anyway. So we'll see what's going to happen there. And then I'll be home and I'll continue. I'll go somewhere to write. Probably I've been doing Hothead Burrito a lot on the weekends. Usually Sundays, even though I went Saturday this week, I've been doing on Sunday. So probably Hothead Burrito. Then I'll be home to play my games and get my groceries and all that good stuff. Monday, I'm back to working from home and I'll continue the writing. The goal, based on the math, is 6,000 words. And that was what I just hit this week. And that was kind of screwed around a couple days. So I should be able to hit 6,000. The goal for the book, I was thinking about this yesterday. The goal for the book is I was going to make it August 31st, which is a Sunday. It's a Sunday I come back from Vegas. I was going to make it be done by August 31st. But I'm going to make it September 1st, which is Labor Day. That way, I'm going to be in Vegas for 3 days. Who knows how much writing I'm going to do. So that'll give me that extra day, Labor Day, which is a day off work. So I'll have that extra day to get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 words in if I absolutely need to. So we're going to say September 1st, I want to be done. The rest of that week is super busy. Fantasy football drafts, golf outing, NFL starts, like a whole bunch of stuff going on that week. So that'll get done by September 1st. And then as soon as I can turn around and start editing, probably, Tuesday at lunch or Wednesday at lunch that week, I'll start the editing of book 1. And that's where I just start re-uploading and publishing. So we're getting close. We're getting close to this thing. So
are you going to run it through an editor through C afterwards? Okay.
Yeah. I talked to her about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I emailed her and just said, "Hey, I'm still alive. Are you still editing?" And she wrote back and said, "Yes, I'm still editing. I'm glad you're writing." So she told me, "It looks like you're going to need me sometime in the fall. Just give her a month's notice and she'll see me in someone."
Oh, nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my coming week is a little bit, I didn't write anything down here, so I'm going to do this on the fly. I do work tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. So those days, who knows what's going to happen. I probably won't write. I'll probably continue reading the books. I do have one for my book club, which will be a week from Thursday, that I've just barely cracked. I think I'm 25% in because it's extraordinarily boring. It's a classic. Oh, I shouldn't say this and tie it with extraordinarily boring because it's boring to me, but it's a classic women's fiction book Lady Tan Circle of Women, and it's just it starts off in feudal Japan, and it's kind of working its way through a couple of generations. So
no explosions, no murders, no nothing like that.
Yeah, no intrigue really. I mean, so yeah, it's just kind of a day in the life kind of thing. So I'll probably pick up that and try to read that through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when I have some time at work. Then I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. And at the moment, I'm going to be calling in sick on Monday because I really need to string 4 days in a row because I've been working too much. In fact, I was complaining to a coworker. You mentioned about working 40 hours or whatever you said. I was mentioning to a coworker this week that, by the time 4 o'clock rolls around, I'm ready for the day to end because I've been up since 6:30 and it feels like I should be going home. And I wish I could convince them that this job needs to be 30 hours a week instead of 40. Because if I could knock 2 hours off every single day, I would be happy. So,
yeah.
But yeah, so my goal, I'll just leave the goal as I've had it at 3,000 words. I doubt if I'll get there. I doubt if I'll get anywhere close, but who knows? If I happen to look at the outline and I see it there, I may actually try to do some writing.
We got our next book for our book club. I'm not participating in the July one. It was like this really silly self-help book, which I had one of the guys that I work with came over to me a couple weeks ago. I was writing up front, and he walked by me. He's like, "Are you reading the book for this month?" And I said, "No." He goes, "It is effing awful." I've never heard that guy swear before. He's like, "It is effing awful. It is so bad. It's hocus pocus self-help kind of thing." I have no interest in this. I told the woman who originally asked me to be in the book club, I said, I'll be in it, but if a book isn't interesting to me, then I'm not going to read it. I'm going to skip the month. I'm like, I said, Michelle, I'm a very simple person. Like, there's nothing to me. Just entertain me. I don't want to have to be made to think. I'm not looking to experience something. I just want to be entertained. And if I'm not entertained, I have other stuff to do. I have a game right here that entertains me. So that's what I'm going to do instead of reading. So the book for this in August is, you probably know this book. I'll bet you it's at the library. It's by Percival Everett and Dominic Hoffman. It's called James.
Yes.
And it's about what's his name? Huckleberry Finn, is that right? Huck Finn?
I don't know, but I've seen.
But it's from James's point of view. It's from the slave's point of view.
Right.
Yeah. And I read the first chapter through a sample about a week ago and was just like, I'm not a big fan of the classics. Like, I'm not very well read overall. I don't think I'm going to be interested in this one at all. And what really saddens me is that, when Michelle sent the thing out, or when they sent the engagement committee sent the thing out maybe 3 weeks ago after we did the first one where we had like 12 or 13 people in the meeting, they sent something out to everybody everybody that said, "Hey, you should join. We've got this and we've got this. And we've also got a published author who comes in every month." And I'm like, "Oh, no, Michelle, no, don't do that to me." So I won't be in there this month. And I don't think I'll be, this wasn't terrible. But again, this is not like you said, women's fiction, overall, it's fine. It's a fine genre. It's boring to you. This is the same thing. These classics, Mark Twain and all the Brontes and all those things. None of those things interest me. The only book I ever read in English class that interested me, that was old, was a short story, The Most Dangerous Game, which I don't know if you know that, but I love that story. And there was a Mystery Science Theater movie made out of it with the guy who played Mr. Brady on the Brady Bunch, the father. They made a movie, they've been multiple movies from this. It's a great story. But other than that, I mean, we read The Red Badge of Courage in high school. I couldn't get into any of that stuff. So I'm very simple, Rich. I'm just a simple guy. So
we've got a rule for our book club that if you don't read it, you're welcome anyways. Just come and socialize because half the time is spent socializing. So
I don't even think I want to go to the meeting because the meetings are, it's a terrible thing I'm about to say. I hope nobody from work's listening. The meetings, if they were like during work hours, I'd be all for it. But they're on my lunch break when I'm writing. And it's like, I'm happy to go talk about a book I liked, but if I didn't read it, I'd rather go write 1,000 words in the stuff that I like that I'm writing. So they did say in the last meeting, we got to read one of your books. And I'm like, I won't be here that month. So have fun. So anyway.
You know what? Something else did occur to me during the week, and I'd forgotten about it until you mentioned your board games that you're playing. With how much you love those and how much you play them, you need to write some lit RPG of some kind.
Thought about it.
Yeah.
Once
you're done with this.
What's his name? Blake?
It's not Blake, is it?
He was always at the 20 book shows, and he was big in the lit RPG.
Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Oh man,
And
he
I
has
know
his
it's
own publishing company.
Mountain Press, or I think it's called.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That's it. That's it. So when we were in Scotland, that's where you and I met. Is it not Blake? Oh man, that makes me sad that I forgot. Yeah, he's in Colorado. Oh man, I got to figure out what his name was.
The name's a little bit odd.
Yes. It's not Blake though. Oh man, people are probably screaming at us right now. Big Mountain Press. Oh man. Okay, if you can find it, great. I'm going to tell this story. When we were in Scotland, again, you and I, that's where you and I met.
Dakota Kraut. Dakota
Kraut. Why did I think Blake? Dakota Kraut. So we were in Scotland, and I don't know if you remember when we were there, the first couple days, there was no one else there. It's pretty empty. But the third or fourth day, a whole bunch of people showed up. So the cafeteria was packed. I remember going in there and getting my lunch, and I found one table that was open. It was a high table, and I was sitting there. And he comes in. I had my badge on. He comes walking in, and I look up, and he makes eye contact with me, and I just went, yeah, you can sit here. Because there was no place to sit. So he came down and sat, and we sat for like an hour just chatting. It was like a great conversation where this guy, me, who had published one book at the time, was talking to this guy who was the same age as me for the most part. He's probably a little younger. Computer programmer. He was in the military. Like, it was just a great story that he was telling about how he became who he was. And I thought, this is cool because this is like somebody everybody knows.
Right.
And he's having lunch with me. This is cool. And so ever since I met him and talked to him back in 2019, I've thought about lit RPG. And then I read, Ready Player One, which I think the plot is fantastic. The writing's not so great, but the plot is fantastic. I would love to write one. I think it could be interesting. I don't know how we work it into a sports game. I don't know. I don't want to do it in like Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know how we work it into a sports game. But yeah, you're right. I could look into one someday.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be something at least to think about and see if you could figure out how you could make it interesting enough, for a generation that's really brought up on first person shooters more than anything else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to grab my laptop and go to the couch here after I eat some dinner, feed my dog, and I'm going to take a little bit more look at these story Bibles and see how much more I can get into Scrivener. But maybe I'll go to ChatGPT and just talk about lit RPG with it and see what it says.
Yeah, see what it says.
That could be interesting. And maybe next week I'll have a fun plot for you. I'll put it in the stuff to share section if I come up with something.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it. You have anything else?
No.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for the podcast. Email me, jerry@jerryevanoff.com. You can, the website is jerryevanoff.com. I'll start updating it in a month or two once I start getting through book 9 and I'm ready to start updating people on what I'm actually doing specifically in terms of what's coming out when. And again, I'm going to dust off that Facebook page at some point, facebook.com/jerryevanoffauthor. And you can check me out there.
Yeah, my email is rich@richkacy.com, and you can find me on Blue Sky at Kacy himself.
All right, everyone, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you all next week.
Yeah, have a good week.